Hold on. Let me take a sip.
Well, good morning to our first experimental on the road.
Cheers.
Only took 40 minutes to get this shit show
fine.
started. What's up?
It's fine. We didn't think the first one was going to go that smoothly. But overall, we're here.
Yep.
And we made it. And that's it.
Not enough coffee to go around. I got to thank Erica and Patrick over at Island Cafe for putting up with us, giving us a carafe of coffee so that we could begin our day. So thank you very much. We
and allowing us to be here in Casa Ruckus.
Yep.
Per usual.
Yeah, we're right by the airport in Hyannis. And you'll probably hear a plane come by us. It's cool.
I love that. It's a good start. It's a good place to be.
So how are we feeling? We're ready here. Second episode of season 4. We're off to a banging start.
We're off to a banging start for sure. And some operational changes coming into the morning, which is different. Not only here, but like getting up, getting here to a different location, and but good.
New routines.
Yeah.
The regular school year. We're here.
Yeah, getting used to the new processes and I stayed at I'll just say it. Stayed at a friend's house last night, which is great. It's great. Did you just clarify that it's a friend?
Yeah.
Stayed at a friend's house last night, and
that's what we're going with now. Huh?
Yeah. They got up and went to work, and I obviously was getting up to podcast, but it was the first time you're like getting up and getting ready for the day in each other's space.
Yeah.
And trying to.
How'd that go?
It's not terrible.
Okay. We like it.
I think it was definitely like a little bit tiptoey, but good. But definitely like, okay, we could
new and a little awkward.
Yes. Yo, yeah. I feel like every step of the way is, but aren't your relationships
That's
always
what
like
you are, though.
Yeah, but we're not supposed to let him know that. We're not supposed to let him know that I'm constantly awkward. No, he's very aware.
You just have like social anxiety, so that makes
Beyond.
sense. Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna put on my mascara and my sweatshirt and get out of the way. But it was fine.
Meanwhile, at the Viva Ranch, I wanted to shoot my husband once again. Oh my God.
Was this for the chicken wing incident or just because he's alive?
It's just stupid things. Here I am riding around the house on my broom yesterday, looking for the human that decided to leave a bag of chicken bones by the trash, not in the trash, by the trash.
With the amount of animals
I know
you have in that house, I don't understand why people thought that was.
I don't know what the holdout was. Somebody wasn't taking out the trash, and it was like one of those things. We're going to put a line in the sand. Although we have a 14-year-old dog with a milky eye and eats all of the things. Like I literally just made a Birkin bag at the freaking vet 2 weeks ago because she ate something she shouldn't have eaten. So here it was, and I saw her being sneaky, and I was like, "What do you have in your mouth?" And then she just kind of looked at me. And I was like, "What do you have?" And she brought it to me, brings it over, and just
because she's 13, she
plops
knows.
it out of her mouth like it was just like I'm dropping a weight chicken wing.
Oh my God!
Like, oh my God!
Dogs are supposed to eat bones, but chicken wing bones are bad because they split, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what. Just to clarify, I don't have a dog. I don't know.
It's so painful. So stupid things like that have gotten me down this week, but I'm not letting it take me. I've got Thursday and Friday off. Like actually off.
No, we have a podcast. Friday.
I know we have a podcast, but I don't have other like work.
Oh,
this is like
we're not work
commitment. I don't find this work.
I'm not work.
You're not. I mean, you work, but that's
a little bit.
Not my problem.
No, I'm a little bit high maintenance. Let's just clarify that.
So yeah, we don't have any of those things going for us. It's midweek. And are we ready to get into what's roasting?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
So we didn't talk about this on Monday. And I feel like it needs to be said. I don't understand why this is even a story, truthfully.
What?
This whole Tom Brady in the Hall of Fame thing.
How annoying was it that we couldn't see what was going on the field because they're saving it for some paywall for some show later on?
Oh, that's what it was?
Yes.
That's annoying.
It's stupid. Whatever. We waived the 4 years for him to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Can somebody explain to me why this was that big of a deal and why people were so excited about it and why it was a viral? I really don't understand. Like, were we not mad at him a year ago for not retiring as a Patriot? And now we just are over it. He came to the home opener and now he's in the Hall of Fame. I don't, like, did I miss something where we all forgave him and we weren't mad at him anymore?
Well, I mean, it's one of those things. Oh, you did your best, but he's always a patriot. We still claim everyone. Like, we were born here. You're
he's
that.
100% will be known for his career as a patriot, not anything as a backup, obviously. But I just think it's interesting. We were so insistent, and there was such a camaraderie around that about what he should be doing and how he should be retiring. And then first day of the next season opening, nobody cares, and everybody's beyond excited that he's getting into the Hall of Fame, which is okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't think it was much of a question. I'm not diminishing his accomplishments, and of course, waiving the 4-year period, cool. But I just couldn't understand the hype.
There's so many other football-related things I would like to talk about, like Aaron Rodgers injuring himself in like 3 minutes and done for the season.
What happened with that?
I don't know, but he tore his Achilles, so he's done. Also, what was up? Bill Belichick breaking up with a girlfriend, and now both of his ex-wife and girlfriend are on Nantucket. That's not awkward.
Wait, didn't we report that he got married last year?
Apparently,
and then
didn't.
Then he was out with. He never got married?
No. He was with the same girl for forever and ever.
I thought.
Call it what you want, but they broke up. So now he's got 2 exes on Nantucket.
That's
probably
funny.
not going to go back to Nantucket anytime soon. It's football season.
He was seen in New Orleans. Guys, I'm just catching up.
And then the inappropriateness of DraftKings on Monday with their 9/11 sports betting.
What? I didn't see that.
So I talked about this with Hank yesterday. Basically, he said, were there not any grown-ups that work at DraftKings? Everybody was, guys, this is a bad idea.
Everybody was under the age of, what is it, 22 years? So everybody's under the age of 19.
Idiots. So they posted it and then quickly retracted it and then apologized for the insensitivity. And
how many teams do you think that had to go through, though, before it was approved? That's what that kind of...
This is masterful. You idiots.
Yeah.
I don't think that they were thinking that they were going to get as much social blowback as they did.
Have you seen the internet?
Don't come for us. I'm not in the mood today. Some days I'm fine for it. Today I'm not in the mood for it. I'm just not. All right, so let's talk about Ariana Grande, shall we?
Did we ever say
talked about her in a while?
It's true. She's been kind of all over the place.
I just hope that she's happy and healthy. She does not look happy and healthy.
She does not look great.
No.
I will admit that. And I'm a big fan. I'm having actually a lot of trouble listening to her music lately just because we have no idea what's going on with her. And I feel bad about it, but I don't want to endorse a home wrecker. Not that we can confirm, but the internet has mostly confirmed. But the internet has mostly confirmed that that's what happened, that she broke up a marriage. I don't know. There's a lot going on with her. In the meantime, though, she did come out and address her losing weight last spring and just said, I'm vegan. I'm actually the healthiest I've ever been. Okay.
Tori and I don't like talking about body issues with stuff. It just makes me uncomfortable talking about someone's body.
Weight in particular. Yeah. Do what you got to do. And I think everybody's different and everybody handles their own health differently. But I will say something's amiss here, I think, in a lot of ways. The story is actually about how she is not using any filler anymore in her face. But this was in 2018. She came out and she said she stopped using it.
Yeah.
I think it's great. But she did kind of say, though, I support it. Whatever makes you feel beautiful, do. But as a makeup mogul, she decided to stop in 2018 and stop adding things to her face. She stopped using lip filler in particular. And
so young. That's the thing that upsets me. I get when you're 40, 50, 60, and all of a sudden you're losing your natural biotin. You're losing that part. I get wanting to supplement with collagen, biotin, natural body stuff. But to be in your 20s and 30s injectables is crazy to me.
Not even 30s. Not even 30s. Yeah. She's younger than I am, I think.
It seems just really extreme. And I'm glad that you're taking a stand against it because I feel like that's a good message to send.
Or just not choosing not to. Yeah. As somebody who believes in, especially because is your brand not all around natural beauty and whatever? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting decision. I think it's an interesting point of view to bring out, especially now when people are so heavily talking about how she looks and her body and the changes. For her to address it in a different way, I think is really interesting.
Well, we roll right into the Kate Winslet story, which is kind of a similar situation where she's like, look, I don't overly criticize myself.
Yeah, unbelievable.
This is my body.
I know
I've entered that portion, but I think it took me into my mid 40s also to just be like, fuck it. It is what it is. I accept it. And I'm not going to let it eat myself up about it.
What was it for Vogue? She did an interview and talked about it. Did she pose nude for Vogue? Or no, she was filming nude scenes. That's what it was.
She always has, though, and she's always had the girl next to her body, and she's always been very open with sharing it, regardless of her insecurities, which I love.
Yeah. She came out and said, I had to be really effing brave about letting my body be its softest version of itself and not hiding from that. And believe me, people amongst our own team would say, you might just want to sit up a bit. And I'd go, why? Because of the bit of flesh you can see? No way. That's how it's going to be. I think it's great. I think it's, let's normalize. Like, your body's not always going to be the most flattering it's ever going to be.
Right. Yep.
And that doesn't take away from the moment. It doesn't take away how great it is. Or the picture or whatever. It's just, maybe it wasn't the most flattering angle. Your body's still a body.
Yeah,
you're going to have more flattering angles too. Twist a little, move a little, shimmy a little.
And every woman out there knows that what the most critical you are of yourself. And then you look back at those photos and you're like, I looked good. And I was upset then. Like, you're always never going to be happy with the situation.
That's true. I mean, I experience a lot of that, which is crazy. When I look back at photos of me in my, like, the peak
dance days
of my ballet career.
We're and thinking about
Yeah, and thinking about, but even like as I was nearing my retirement and thinking about
still a child,
how poorly I felt and how much pressure I was getting about my body. And I look back on those photos now and I go, oh, you don't look good. Like, you don't look healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I can see how I was starving myself and I can see it in my face and in my
your
body.
Unhappiness.
But even then, like, when I looked at that photo then, I'd be like, oh my God, how horrifically large I am. And now you look back on that and I'm like, oh my God.
Human. I mean, I'm a big person also, but her next to me, it's just ridiculous.
I'm a compact ball of fun.
I like that.
My best friend calls me fun size. He has since we were 11.
She's fun size.
Yeah. I told him not to call me short. The next thing I know, he's like, you're just fun size. And it stuck.
Perfect.
That's it. All right. What else we got going on?
I did want to talk about the Demi Lovato thing just for a hot minute, because she said that she's already talking about marriage with a boyfriend that I've never even heard of or knew that she was dating. So I just wanted to have this, like, where are we in our societal norm of how long before she's going to say the word?
She is going by she currently, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Where are we for how long we're supposed to be together before we entertain what should be a lifelong commitment? When I tell you it's a lifelong commitment, it's a lot. Those chicken bones are in the trash and dogs are eating it. You're going to think otherwise.
Oh my God.
Why?
Let me think about that for a second.
I mean, there doesn't have to be a specific time stamp on there.
No.
But I really feel like you should get to know a human. And I don't really feel like you even know a human until you've spent at least a year with them.
I 100% disagree. However,
a year with them before you know they're in. What if they do something
but I think
that drives you nuts?
I think there's a difference between talking about it and having the conversation and then following through with it and making the decision. And I do think that it is a very adult way to approach relationships if a marriage is something that you want in life.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that.
To talk about it, going in, this is what I'm looking for. This is where I'm at. Do you have a timeline on that? Are you trying to be married by a certain age?
Yeah.
Do you think kids are in your future, especially when you're in your 30s? You're
already up against time.
I mean, don't say that.
For your best choices.
I think it's okay to go into relationships, newer relationships, talking about it and being very clear that that's what you want in life and that's the path that you're on. That way you can be like, okay, if that's not what you want, I'm going to go do my own thing. Or you're just not wasting time with somebody or waiting for the casual to become uncasual. Like, I think it's okay to bring to the table and have a conversation. So maybe that's all she meant. We've been talking about it as opposed to we're going to follow through that. Maybe after a year and a half, they're like, okay, now we feel ready to. But I think it's okay to have that conversation along the year and a half, no?
I mean, yeah, I guess. You have to talk about
or what? Or you date somebody for a year and a half, and then after a year and a half, you're like, wow, I feel like I know you well enough now. Should we talk about getting engaged? Oh, no, you don't actually like me? Okay, bye. Like, I don't want to do that.
I never want to be married and I don't want to have kids. How did I not know this a year ago?
Right, a year ago.
Why did I waste my time with this?
Yeah.
I get it. Okay.
Especially as a woman.
So
That's like
floating
a
the
huge
conversation
fear.
out there. I just thought it was a large milestone to share it with the press.
Yes, I agree. I think it's
Unless you're sharing it with the press, that would mean that
especially
that would
Demi
be
Lovato. Like, you know what's going to come out of this conversation. You know
right?
it's going to go viral. You know it's going to be a whole thing.
Unless
and
that's
that
what you
radio
wanted.
people like us are going to be talking about it tomorrow.
Right.
Why would you open your mouth? Although I also ask myself the same question sometimes. Why do I open my mouth?
And then we're here.
So
hi, what's up?
That's it. Did you see the Brady Bunch house was on HGTV?
I did, and they took a bath for it. I didn't think that you could lose money in real estate in this day and age.
But here's what I learned. It's not, they didn't film inside the house. It's just the structure. It was just the overall.
The facade.
So why did they think it was going to sell like a famous house as opposed to like, that's a fun fact?
Right. I think that they thought that more people would want to watch them building the innards of it to spec. But once again, it's not really up to what people want aesthetically this day and
age. And then who wants to spend $6 million to live in a Brady Bunch house? That's all. It was all listed on the market.
There's got to be somebody out there
for $5.5 million. $5.5 million? Well, they didn't pay $5.5 million. They paid $3 million. Still, can you imagine spending $3 million on a house from a sitcom?
I can't imagine spending $2 million to build and film something that 7 people watched. Because that's really what they did it for, was to make a show out of it.
Yeah.
And get ratings and numbers. And it didn't
work.
Happen.
No. And then nobody bought the house.
Yeah, that was kind of a flat.
Well,
it's probably going to make more money as an Airbnb doing whatever.
That would make more sense to me.
Why are we the only ones that see this? I don't know.
Do you think that's what the buyers did? Yeah, but I probably wouldn't buy it as an Airbnb for $5.5 million. Like, there's not enough money there to recoup what you would get. Do you know what I mean? Like, to pay.
Like, say Brady Bunch, my kids don't really know what it was. I had that case in point last night when I was doing trivia, and we were talking about this is National Housekeeping Week. So I did a quiz about housekeepers.
I didn't know that, and I cleaned my bathroom.
Well,
look at me. Anyway.
So I did a trivia quiz about housekeepers. And some of the old shows, people were just looking at me like I had 11 heads, like they didn't know. Even who's the boss. They just did not know who the housekeeper was. So it was Tony Danza, Tony Maselli.
I also didn't know that.
See, your age bracket just does not watch the old shows like that. I mean, Brady Bunch is iconic, but...
Yeah, I don't know if I ever really watched Brady Bunch, though. Like, how many episodes did I actually watch? I don't know.
And you only know it because other people have talked about it your whole life.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
It's kind of like when your aunt brings up a memory and you're like, I don't remember it, but I remember you saying the story so many times.
Forever.
I've now made it a memory of mine.
Yes. That's 100%. That's totally true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what other shows are like that for me.
There has to be tons of them.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Bewitched. And I watched a lot
I like that. Well, Nick at Night also. I watched the Maddie Duke show. That was long since closed and canceled by the time I grew up, but I still grew up watching it. That and the Dick Van Dyke show, and all of those, just because I watched them on Nick at Night.
But there's also a whole fandom now. I would say like the younger generation, my generation and Gen Z, like our old shows that we are now rewatching are a totally different generation. It's Seinfeld, it's Friends, it's Nick at Night that like we used to watch when we were kids. You know what I mean? It's not that old. I just think it's like, we've skipped forward a generation. That's all.
So let's talk about Kelsey Ballerini quickly.
Well, the VMAs in general.
I did not watch any of them, but I was psyched that it was mostly women.
11. Taylor Swift got nominated for 11. She pretty much won all but one, which is amazing.
Not a surprise.
No. She took home Video of the Year, Song of the Year, Pop of the Year, Pop Song of the Year, like just everything.
Was there anything good that I missed? Any good performances? Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it. People were saying there was a weird moment in Olivia Rodrigo's where there was supposed to be like a stage malfunction that kind of was on purpose, but it read kind of weird.
And they're trying to make that feud happen, her and Taylor, and it's
the media, and they just
it's not real.
No, they just keep ignoring it. I'm trying to think if there was anything else.
At the VMAs?
Yeah, people were just kind of bopping out. Oh, and NSYNC reunited to give out an award for Taylor Swift, and she was like, I'm sorry, I'm just really distracted by you guys. She was like in full fan mode of them.
I love it. Cute.
She was like, I know I'm supposed to take this moon man, but like I just can't stop looking at you guys, which I thought was awesome.
She's had such an epic year.
Oh my God, beyond.
Millions already have been sold for her October release of the movie of her concerts.
Yes. Yep.
Which is incredibly
crazy.
Yeah,
we're going. Me and my friend are going. We decided we were going to go, which is really, we went to the concert. We spent an exorbitant amount of money to go to the concert, which makes me feel a little bit like, and then, no, literally, I will take that number to the grave. I will take it to the grave. Horrifying. Yeah, no, she's putting it, we're excited. I think it's going to be a disaster in theaters, but I think it'll be fun.
Well, we'll see. They've already sold $30 million of pre-sale tickets. So
crazy.
The girl just prints money.
Beyond. What else? There was a couple of really good performers. Somebody.
Beyonce?
Nope, she didn't perform.
She was just nominated.
Yes.
Dua Lipa's also having a year because of Barbie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great movie, by the way, if you've not had a chance to go watch it.
Oh, yes. Agreed.
Martha Plimpton actually put a video out. She's from the Goonies, if you don't know who Martha is. But she posted this Instagram.
That one I know.
All right. She posted this Instagram about how she was like crying. She's like, I'm so late, but I love Barbie.
And it's streaming now for $29.99. You can own it on Amazon Prime. I was very close to purchasing it. I think I will probably end up purchasing it because that's a movie I'll like fall asleep to for the rest of my life.
I did cry. I did.
We all cried.
I don't know.
I sobbed. Well, I watched it with a bunch of work friends. We all dressed up and wore pink.
Oh.
We sobbed. It was fun. But anyway, back to the Kelsey Ballerini thing. She is having the time of her life. She had her 30th birthday. She performed. She, I don't know if she won any VMAs, but she showed up on the red carpet looking red hot with her boyfriend, Chase Strokes.
All right, good for her.
And I just want to note how, like, incredibly impressive and brave this is. I think she her divorce was finalized in November. Through the media, she put out this heartbreak, actually not even first. Her ex-husband put out a song that like kind of slammed her. She retorted back with an entire album, EP that she put out herself, made tons of money, started touring, traveling, doing really great. Then she put out another version of the album, adding a song about how she went out on her first date with Chase, went public with their relationship in about April. And now she's on the red carpet with him looking great. And I just think the fact that she went from like, I'm supposed to be sad and alone in my relationship. And I'm supposed to be this like woman who's, you get the stigma, like not public with every relationship, supposed to be private, supposed to be heartbroken, whatever. And she's like, no, I'm public with my journey. And part of my journey is meeting a really great guy who supports me. And I'm moving on, and I'm going to take him to the red carpet with me, and I'm going to look red hot, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I do love that.
All kinds of PDA. It was just all over each other.
Out of it and taking the sting out of what you're supposed to do post-divorce. It's not really a failure. I've decided this is not for me, and I'm good.
But there was also so much of me that was so jealous. Like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't go from one public relationship. I mean, I was in a relatively public relationship 2 years ago.
Anxiety, social anxiety. What it is.
It's true. Like I have no interest in.
People will judge me. What will they say?
That's totally what it is. Listen, I have a therapist.
That's 2023. We don't have to be these people anymore.
But we're in a small town. There is that stigma. I can't go public with my relationships.
You can. And like that's just you're gonna be okay. You can do it.
We're gonna talk about this part later. Never mind.
Yes, we will. I do need to get to weird news as the restaurant is filling up here at the Island
Let's
Cafe.
go.
Once again, thank you, Erica and Patrick, for having us.
It worked great.
So I saw this story, and it sparked a debate between people and relationships.
Yep.
Husband sparks a debate for boarding the plane and leaving his wife behind. Now, the 47-year-old man recounted a travel incident where his wife led a prolonged silent treatment. He described himself as being type A and has to be on time, has to have all of these boxes checked, and left her behind because she's not organized.
For sure see this being me, the wife. It's fine. Keep going.
It just makes me laugh. So he, on a recent trip with his daughter, his wife delayed him, almost missing the flight. During a recent trip connecting flights, tensions escalated with his wife because of time constraints. She continued waiting in line as he panicked about boarding, causing him to board alone when the gate was close. After the flight, he told his wife to purchase a new ticket for the next flight, and she spoke to him only a week ago. story went viral on Reddit, but I definitely think that that's a relationship, right?
I think he was in the right. I also read something that said she's known for being late and like being close to missing planes before. This is not a first time conversation or a first time issue. So he was like, I'm done here. You're the crazy one that decided to go try and get Starbucks coffee and get another gate 15 minutes before a flight. Right. No way I'm getting on this plane. I fully support it.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, we're all grown-ups. You can make your decisions.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks though when you have everything attached to the same bank account. So now you're literally paying for someone else's mistakes.
I didn't think of that.
So,
but then if he didn't get on the plane, then they would have they would have needed 2 tickets.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not really sure where this divide goes, but it's definitely sparking an interesting debate. Do you leave them behind? I feel like it depends on the situation. I feel like a flight maybe a little egregious, but smaller things, leave them the frick behind.
I don't know.
Stop dragging me down.
I would do this. Like I obviously not a boyfriend, but I wonder if like this is Brad and I. If I would leave him, I might leave him. Bye. I might leave him. Yeah.
That's
be like, I'm getting
dad. Bye. See ya.
That's it. That's all we got today.
She wrote. I know. So thank you for being so patient with us as the restaurant fills up. And this is our first setup.
Our first one.
So give us a little grace with the camera angles and the lighting, please. We're working on it. Work in progress.
Fine, guys.
Get perky with us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, The First Shot Morning Show.
All right, now I have to see if I can find our clothes.
The First Shot Morning Show is produced by Lemonadio. When life gives you lemons, make radio. We encourage everyone to listen happier.com.